to my channel. I'll get my icy cold water out of the way. Welcome to Bind It All Tuesday. And today we are working with the Japanese bookbinding method. Although there's some controversy, if you use the 4 holes like I did here, it's Chinese, and more holes is Japanese. And I'm going to leave it in your capable hands to research it if you like and find out what the difference is. But anyways, I'm calling this Japanese binding. Where I got it from, they call it Japanese. So that's what I'm going to go with. So this little was just my little trial and error. And you can see this is wax thread, and I'm not certain that I like how this is. So I'm going to try this time to pull it tighter and see if it'll do better. And I just had some sketch paper, so that's what I'm going to use this as, just a little sketch pad. Probably put it into a journal somehow. So let's have a look and see how it's done. So I cut my papers to 5.5, which would really be in 2 little lines. And I should have figured out how many. Oh, let's see. Let's do it. 5.5 and 2 little lines just doesn't cut it, does it? Okay, 5.5. I'm just looking at my little board here. So if I go a half, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, so 4 and 5/8. 5/8. 5 and 5/8 is this way, and 8 1/4 this way. And then to make your template, I'm just going to use the same one that I did. You have a piece of paper that's the same size as your whole book. And then you take and you mark a 1-inch line from the end. So that's going to go like this. Right? Like so. And you mark that 1 inch. Then you take and you fold this in half. And then you do that 3 more times. So you fold it in half 3 times. So half, half, and half. Like so. And that gives you your template for your I don't know how many times you would have to fold it if you were doing more than 5, because I'm more than 4. I'm just doing the 5. Oh my goodness. I should start over. I'm just doing the 4. So to make sure your pages are lined up. And then I have my little binder clip here to hold everything in place while I mark my holes. This is probably the one that I struggled with the least. Now you watch. Now that I'm doing it on video, I'll be mucking it up. That's probably the way it'll go, right? That's just the way it is sometimes. You want to make sure that your template, of course, is lined up with your book perfectly, because otherwise things will go awry, and you don't want that. Okay. There we go. And we're just going to move that down a little bit more here, just so that I have lots of. Okay, so then I have, this is a little sanding pad. I bought it at a dollar store. You can see how many times I punched through there. And we're just going to do it 4 more times. So, we just take, oh, where's my, oh. I thought I had that right here too. But no, I'm having this habit of putting things away. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so then you just go through your hole, because you've marked your, oh, I guess I should have said that, shouldn't I? You do your 1-inch line, and then you mark every second fold line. I don't know if you can see my folds there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But anyways, it says fold, 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 fold. There's folds in between, but you're going every second fold. Oh yeah. And the thicker your pages, the harder it is to go through. But I'm going to punch these first. I've got 20 pages in here. Now, if you've got, you can see I'm struggling to get it through this, the 20 pages. If you've got more pages, you would want to do it in stages, pull them apart. I'm just doing a 20-page book. And then when we go over here, let me just go back through, because some of these holes you're putting it through twice, right? So you want to make sure that your holes can handle that. And what I found on that other one is that when the paper goes through like that, it gives you that ugly, and I don't know how, you can push it back down, but if you push it back down, your hole is closed, right? And so it doesn't really, and I don't know if it's this paper or just, I don't know. I see it's nice on this side. Maybe that's the trick. Keep that as the front so it looks nice. Okay, so let me get rid of these guys. Get rid of that, and get rid of that. I have another one I can make because I cut my pages in half-ish, so I can make another one. And I probably will to use them up. Okay, so then you take your, I did the wax thread, and it's about 5 times the width of this. You'd rather have more than, have too much than not have enough. So then you go to the second hole here, and you kind of run it through, pick a spot here. If you could count 10 pages, that'd be awesome, but I'm not going to. It feels about right. So we're just going to go through, oh, now here's where I'm going to do it wrong right off the bat. This line here goes through like this. You go through here. Go through, up through here. And then you want to leave a tail in there, because that's where you're going to tie your knot. So you want to push it through like that, and now let's leave a nice generous amount there. So then you make sure your papers are lined up, come back through the bottom, all the way through, and you want to wrap it around here. And this is where you want to kind of make sure your strings are tight and straight. And then we're going to work to the left. I'm going to go through the next hole. And we're going to wrap that again. And we're going to come back through here. So basically what's the most important thing in here, well, one of them, is to make sure you wrap each time. Then we're going to go through the next hole. Here. I know, but it'll happen, just wait. we get it when we come back around. And so around, and if I've done this wrong, I'll stop and do the whole thing all over again. I've had too many videos where I've been struggling with stuff. So I'm going to just, if it's wrong, I'm going to start all over again. Okay, nice tight Now you're going to take it, when you get to this end, you're going to take and wrap it this way around here, and then put it back through this hole again. You want to be very careful that you're not going through your thread, which that is hard, especially when you figure how many times you're going back through again. But I think you kind of feel it when you do it. There we go. And we want to pull this straight and tight. Now we're going to go back through this hole. Like so. To join our lines, and then we're going to go back through this hole to make our bottom line here. And now we're here, and we're going to go through this hole. Keep things nice and snug. And we're going to wrap it and go back through this hole again. Like so. Straight. Then we're going to go over the end and bring it back through and go back through this hole again. Like so. Now we got that all nice and done. That looks good. Pull it snug. Now, our last stitch, we're going back through this hole, but we're going to find where our thread is. Here we went here, so we're going to just kind of tilt that needle and see if we can get it back through. It did it very easily for me the first time I tried it. Oh, I'm going right through. Okay, hold on. There we go. There we go. There we go. There it is. All nice and tight, snug. Pull it as much as you can. Pull, pull. Get rid of that. And then we just take and tie our knot just like we would in any other way that we do it. And do 3 knots, 1 forward, 1 backward, and 1 forward again. And that is the simple form of Japanese binding. There are many different stitches you can add to that, but there we go. Let's get that there. I like that. That looks pretty, and I like the, and then I would take and round these corners and ink it and maybe put something on there, but this would be just like a little, I don't know. And then to make this so that it is openable better, like it'll lay flatter for you, you can just take and condense your paper to add a fold line. And then that makes it so that it stays down for you. Or that it lays flat. It gives it that. Let me get this out of the way. It gives you that. But you can push it down. And then, so that makes it kind of a nice little, there we are at our center point-ish. But yeah, that kind of makes a nice little book, little notebook. Make a nice little gift for somebody. So I would suggest this one here. I don't know if it's this pattern that makes it, because it's the lines going through there. So you can't really hide if you're crooked, or if it's just the way that my stitches went through these holes. But if we put it this way, look how nice it is. Much better. Backside don't look so good on that one. It looks okay on that, but it's that, I don't know. You can kind of push it down after you're done and give it a little bit of a, so it's not so in your face done, but there we go. I did them this size. You can make them a full 8.5 by 11. You can make them whatever size you want, but just, you just want to make sure that you get your holes even. That's all it is. All right, easy peasy, wasn't that? All right, well, thank you for joining me. I may do some more of these, but do the more fancier stitch, but I thought I'd just show you the simple, easy way. It's a good beginner way of doing it, and it looks good the way it is, and it's something different. All right, so thank you. Have yourselves an awesome day. Make sure you go check out Suzanne's, because I'm certain she's got a wonderful tutorial there, and she always does. She does such a great job. All right, bye-bye.